All right, guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. Nice. This looks good. So, what we have here is a hint. Now, I did see a little bit of confusion about this, and people were thinking that, oh, maybe Tanabata. Definitely not Tanabata, because we're going to be getting a part 2 LR before Tanabata even happens, right? It sounds crazy to say, but June actually has 2 summonable LRs coming. We can expect, by the way, that this LR, I believe, will probably be out on like the 18th is when we're expecting it. So a hint right here is kind of surprising because Dokkan doesn't do just like a hint like this for like a part 2 LR. We've not seen this before. When we've seen hints on Dokkan, it's been leading up to major celebrations, right? Saiyan Day, Worldwide Download Celebration, things like that. It to me is pretty clear exactly what they're doing right here. It's Cell Max. This like GIF right here, like this is what the hint is alluding to right here. This is what the part 2 LR is going to be Cell Max. Now, this, I would argue, is best case scenario because what do we need right now? We need help for this guy. This guy needs help. Now, a domain update, I think, is something that definitely, could be in the pipeline that we're probably going to see, they did talk about that, or I guess not really talk about it, but they showed it in the kind of like roadmap. I mean, it's a little vague, but they showed that a domain update is at least some type of update is coming. Like when people talk about a domain update, they're not just like making something randomly up, right? Like just pulling shit out of their ass. It was kind of, said that there was going to be an update there. So, Cell Max, again, would be kind of best case scenario because we have these 2 Goku Blacks. Both of them are completely built around super bosses. So what we need right now is not some other random character. We're looking for a super boss's character. Cell Max at this point is really the only new major character from Superhero that doesn't have like a card in Dokkan. I mean, I guess we could say like Magenta or something like that. But like, Cell Max isn't in Dokkan right now as a controllable character. So this would be so sick. And I guess I would assume that along with, Cell Max potentially being the part 2 LR right here, we could probably also assume that they could add content to the Cell Max event in the form of missions for the stage, right? So stage 2 is very devastating. Oh, they never even put it in here. Oh, wow, okay. So I guess we'll go over here then. Stage 2 in this Cell Max event is very devastating. I think you could potentially say that this is the hardest fight in the game right here, this stage 2. So seeing potentially, maybe like a super boss's mission or something like that, I think is something we could see added to this Cell Max stage. The other thing that would be really good with an LR Cell Max is, we've had, 3 Cell Max fights. We've had Red Zone Cell Max, Stage 1 of the Cell Max's event, and Stage 2 of Cell Max's event. It's time for Cell Max to actually get his own card, which we're now, it looks like, finally going to do. So, looking at this here, I don't really think that this would change. These probably would be his categories right here. Android, Artificial Life Forms, Super Bosses, Movie Bosses, and Battle of Fate. So Cell Max actually would not be on the 200% for Rose. Okay. What about, Broly's leader skill? I don't have the 200% memorized for Broly's. So Broly leads super bosses, and then he's got movie boss. Yeah, okay. So Cell Max, we run Broly as our leader for super bosses. And we could hit Cell Max on the 200%. Okay. So what teams? Oh, damn. He's Artificial Life Form as well. That could potentially be another character who could crush the Beast Gohan Supreme Battle Spectacle fight. I guess movie bosses, the most recent leader is Harudagarn. We have several super bosses leaders. artificial life form. Again, I mean, I was running Gamma 1 as the leader in there when we were doing that. So, I mean, I guess the thing is that Cell Max, by the way, this looks like he's going to be a yellow coin LR. That's why, like, I do think it is Cell Max. Because it's like they're doing a hint here for a yellow coin LR. Now, Cell Max is not like a character that's actually in Dokkan we could get. So them doing a hint for like a, you know, kind of a big new character like that, I guess does kind of make at least a little bit of sense to me right there. So we've got that. We got Cell Max. And again, he's on Android, so we could run him on Android 21's team as well. Android 21's team is certainly solid. Hard to predict like what this guy's link set and stuff like that might be. I mean, we could definitely say that something like Big Bad Bosses, Fierce Battle, you know, Legendary Power for sure, but beyond that, it's hard to say. Getting another Big Bad Bosses character on a Super Bosses could be good, but remember, Broly himself and like Int Gold and Frieza are unfortunately not Big Bad Bosses characters. So that's going to mean that these boys are going to be even more important as Big Bad Bosses, Super Bosses characters. And hopefully with the domain update, Tech Fusion Zamasu will be really, really competent as well. Now, the other guess people had here, I really don't think it's going to be Broly, but this is the other guess people have had. Now, we only have... what do they do just call him Super Saiyan Broly? Yeah, they just have him listed as Super Saiyan Broly. I think that Dokkan could probably drop. There's a lot more they're going to do from this first Broly movie. Like, this guy has, like, basically no representation whatsoever, right? This guy awakens, by the way, into Super Saiyan 3 Broly. It makes no sense, right? It's just one of those older Dokkan, you know, kind of like shenanigan things. So, what I think is that if they really wanted to, you know, because Broly says my key is, you know, overflowing. It's, you know, rising, overflowing, that type shit. Maybe because of Paragus' mind control with the little crown thing, they could have him on Kuroda body and mind, and then he would fall in Goku Black's leader skill. And that would be why it could be Broly, but I really hope not. I definitely want more Brolys for sure, but I've been very clear what I think Dokkan should do, and that's support the Dokkan Festival exclusive cards. The yellow coin LRs of the last couple celebrations, Ginyu is fantastic for buffing Topo. Ultimate Gohan works really well with AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Now we get Cell Max for Rose. That's going to be huge. Now, I tweeted out a couple of my thoughts here. Yeah, swimsuit Kefla is a part 2. I just had to get a joke in before it hit me, Cell Max, and then, of course, I saw this from one of the Japanese accounts. But I did want to touch upon this. Okay, well, here's the point I was making about Broly, right? Because of kind of the mind control, like, I guess they could kind of slide him on Kuroda body and mind. I mean, Dokkan is always very inconsistent with categories and stuff like that, so it's always hard to predict. But, I mean, we should mention this. So, up until right now, I was not sure what Global Dokkan was going to do. I think the way Global is going to handle this month is that there's two, you know, essentially yellow coin LRs, LR Ginyu, and then it looks like the other yellow coin LR is Cell Max. And then there's two Super EZAs, which is Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, who they could pair with Ginyu, and then there's Physical Goku Black, who they could pair with, it looks like the Part 2 LR is going to be Cell Max. Considering Global Dokkan did not tweet a hint, I think it's very safe to just assume that Cell Max is only going to be on JP, and Global is probably going to get LR Ginyu and Super EZA Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I think those two characters are going to come to Global. I have no idea when Cell Max and Super EZA Goku Black would come to Global. I don't know. I do think, unfortunately, that the rest of this year is just going to probably lead to a lot of frustrations. I think things are going to get really weird when it comes to Global. I do think by January 1st of 2025, we should be all caught up with every character on Global, all events, everything. Like, I think, like, once we hit 2025, we're good. But I do think the rest of this year, I mean, there's still going to be a lot of puzzling, head-scratching moments, I think, moving forward. And, you know, where does this LR show up on Global, I think is one of those examples. Best case scenario, well, they're probably not going to do it since they didn't tweet out the hint, but it would be like Ginyu and Cell Max would be in the banner together or something like that. Like, they could just do that and, you know... would be good for the sync, but I mean, I don't know. They're a word that starts with a C. Clowns. Okay, so there we go. Let me know what you guys think. It looks like Part 2 LR is going to be Cell Max. I'm not super sure when we'll see details tweeted. I guess it could be tomorrow. It could be the next day. It's probably going to be Sunday. It's hard to say. Again, I believe we're going to see on the 18th is when the character is actually going to be coming out. Cell Max, man. I think that's pretty fire. Cell Max. I'm excited for sure.